Welcome, everybody. It's Friday. Oh, my goodness. Am I glad that we got through this week? I don't know about you, but I can tell you this has been a long week. It has been a long week. I don't know what's happening here, but it seemed to stretch out. I know the time changed, and maybe it was that rain that was happening here in Maryland, but it just seemed as though it kept going and going, and it's still going because the sun was trying to peep out. That's what I was looking at just a minute ago. Sun was trying to peep out. Who am I? My name's Colette Coakley. I welcome you here on this platform. I am the Vice President of Human Resources for Maryland Public Television. I'm also the founder of the Women's Leadership Forum. And today, oh my goodness, I never can wait to introduce my guest, but I'm excited because we're going to talk about something that you know is a hot topic that people have been talking about, and that's that personal branding. So, but before I get there, I want to tell you again, I'm going to thank you for your attendance at the Women's Leadership Forum for 2021. And I also want to tell you, we've got things cooking. We are stirring up the pot for things to come. We've got a lot going on. Let me just see. I got mastermind classes, not only in business, but we're also going to talk about wealth and legacy. Wealth and legacy, right? And I've got a founder's tea that's coming up. You know, we had a talk with couples tea that told us more than we could even imagine about tea, right? That there's so many different kinds and blends of tea. So we're going to have an additional talk about tea, but after that, we're going to talk business because we have a lot of entrepreneurs in our midst, and we want to talk about how to keep your business going and keep it right. We also are talking about internships, and for you students who are out there and you're viewing us, we want you to know that we love you because we want your careers to skyrocket as well. And you all are just starting out, but we want you to, take off like a rocket. And if ever we can help in giving you information and giving you tools that you can use, the Women's Leadership Forum is here for you to give you those resources so that you can excel at a faster pace. Now, we're also talking about doing a pitch competition, but I think I need to keep that under wraps because we don't quite have that all together. But for those of you who are seeking to accelerate your business and have an idea out there, we're going to have competition for that and classes that get you further along the road. So you know the name of our game, okay? That operative word this year is forward, and we're here for you to move not only you forward, but your families forward, your businesses forward, your lives forward. We're going to use that word until we run it into the ground, as they say. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you my guest who has been patiently waiting, right? Who has been patiently waiting for us, Miss Dena Bilbrew. And let me just tell you, Miss Bilbrew is more than a jack of all trades. She's got a lot going on. And you too are going to want to know who she is because she's a career and life coach. She helps with the resumes and your bio. She's a personal brand strategist, content editor, motivational speaker and trainer. And guess what she launched? From Dena's Desk. Now, we've been on that Clubhouse together, and I'm happy to know her, and I want you all to get to know her because I haven't told you all yet, But we are building out this Monday, Wednesday, Friday venture here on live on WLF Live. And Dena is going to make a regular appearance. So I'm happy to have her. I'm happy to introduce to you Miss Dena Bilbrew.
Hi, Colette. How are you? Thanks for having
Hi.
me.
Hi, I'm so happy to have you here today. I'm excited. And I want to tell the viewing audience a little bit about you. It says, it says here on LinkedIn, and that's where you can find her. If you want to tag her, you can find her on LinkedIn. It says, I'm a career and life coach who is truly passionate about helping people get from where they are to where they want to be. Now, if you don't know anything about life coaches, that's the kind of life coach that you want. Not the kind of coach that's going to tell you where you should go, but it's the one that is going to help you grow and go to where you want to be. And so, Miss Bilbrew, Miss Dena Bilbrew, tell us some more about yourself, because I just read a line, one line from the many things that you do. Tell us some more about yourself.
Well, sure. Well, as you said before, I am a career and life coach, and I kind of stumbled into this work. I went to college and I got a degree, like I was told that I should, to have a great life and a great career. And I thought I was going to work in that particular space for, the rest of my life and retire and live happily ever after. But as you know, life doesn't always work like that. There are, different turns in life. And I've taken several turns that kind of landed me into this space. And I found that it's something that I really enjoy and something I'm really passionate about. And some of the different turns in my life have been voluntary and some involuntary, but that's really what gives me the passion and the drive to be able to help other people, because I can relate to a lot of people. I can understand, the disappointment sometimes when things don't work out. I can understand doing a job for 20 years because that's what you went to college for. And now you want to live your life and do what you really want to do. I can
Mm.
understand when, you have certain disappointments in life and it really didn't turn out the way you want, and how you can pick yourself back up and you can reinvent yourself. I like to also call myself the reinvention queen too. So I need to add
Oh,
that on my profile, but just being able to reinvent yourself, being able to pick yourself back up and just be able to get yourself along the path that you want to be on.
okay. Okay. So, you know, when we put out in social media what we were going to talk about today, because I'm anxious to talk about, because I have questions. I've got questions. Okay. Personal branding. Personal branding. Now, I, old school, when I talk about branding, I was a marketing major. We only talked about companies,
Hmm.
right? We talked about the big boys. And every company has a brand. What is a personal brand? What is a personal brand?
Well, to make it very simple, your personal brand is really just your reputation. It's just the way you show up time and time and time again that makes a reputation for yourself. And it's a way you communicate your unique value. It's a way you let people know who you are, what you do, and how you do it uniquely. And it's the way you package yourself and it's the way you market yourself so that every time someone has an interaction with you, or whenever someone comes across you, they know this is the type of person that I'm going to get. When I interact with Colette, I know I'm going to get X, Y, and Z. When I interact with Dena, I know she's always going to show up this particular way. So I think sometimes we oversimplify things. So or we make it too difficult. So just to simplify it, it's really just your reputation. It's the way you package yourself and the way you market yourself to tell people who you are and what you do.
Okay. So I've heard a lot of people on their jobs say, this is who I am. This is, they don't even like me. This is who I am. Okay. Talk about that just a little bit. You said the word reputation.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we also often have to examine that reputation, because sometimes we're not who we think we are. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I think that's true. I think that, sometimes it requires a little bit of balance. And sometimes, you may have to help get other people to help you identify your personal brand, right? Sometimes you may have to go to somebody and you may have to ask them, what do you see me? How do you see me? What are some of the things that you think that I'm good at? Because a lot of times, we don't really know how to examine ourselves. And then whenever we do examine ourselves, we don't know how to brag on ourselves because we've been told that we need to be humble. We've been told, you shouldn't brag on yourself, don't talk about yourself. But, when it comes to your personal brand, that is when it's a time to brag on yourself. It's okay to say, these are the things that I'm good at. These are the things that I bring to the table. These are my areas of expertise. So if you're having difficulty figuring that out, sometimes you can ask somebody, that's definitely what I'm here for, to kind of help you navigate through that. Or if there's someone, in your circle, maybe you have a mentor, and there are all kind of assessments out there that can kind of help you with those strengths and help you figure out what your personal brand is and what you bring to the table.
What are some of the things that comprise a personal brand? When you, like, if I'm sitting back, okay, and I'm trying to think of who am I? What am I? What should I be? What are some of the things that comprise a personal brand?
Well, when you think about your personal brand, you can break it down into three different parts. You can think about it first of, what do you do? What is it that you do, right? And then the second part would be, who do you do it for? Who are the people that you serve? And then thirdly, how do you do it uniquely? So for someone like myself, what I do is career coaching and life coaching. That's what I do. And who do I do it for? I do it for people who are stuck, people who maybe need a plan, people who need a thought partner, and people who need help getting from where they are to where they want to be. And how do I do it uniquely? I do it by helping them to reinvent themselves. I do it by helping them change their mindset. I do it by helping them know that it's okay to brag on yourself. So if you put those three things together, that's my personal brand: a career and life coach who helps people who feel stuck and need a plan by helping them to change their mindset, see themselves more positively, and then reinvent themselves to get to from where they are to where they want to be. So just breaking it down into those three components, I think, helps you come up with your personal brand.
Okay, so we have somebody in the chat who says, how you see yourself versus how others see you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, you have even your friends come say, well, I think you are this, or I think it's this. How much weight do you give to that?
I think you can give a little bit of weight to it. I mean, I think you know yourself best, because of course, you're with yourself 24 hours a day, right? So you know yourself best. You know what your intentions are. You know genuinely who you are. So I think you can put a little bit of weight on that. Definitely, if you're hearing the same thing over and over, if you're asking several people and they're telling you over and over, you know what, you're really good at leadership. You're really good at public speaking. You're really good at organizing people. You have a way with words. You're good at communicating. You can kind of incorporate that into it. And then, kind of incorporate that into, how you feel about yourself, what you bring to the table, and what you enjoy doing. So I think there's a healthy balance between, how you feel that your personal brand is and what you feel you bring to the table and what other people say as well.
When we were talking on Clubhouse, you also made mention of your performance review,
mm-hmm.
or the assessments,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm talking about in terms of the working people who get these annually, or they get a mid-year and annual review, and you see certain things and categories that are on there. Is that something that you could use? And how do you use it?
Certainly, you can use that, because that's going to be definitely some external feedback that you can get, you can incorporate into that. And certainly, if you're seeing that you are being rated high in certain areas, and that's the way your supervisor and maybe your team members see you, then you certainly can use that. So I definitely think that's something to take into consideration. Look at the feedback, look at, the areas that you score high in, and you can definitely incorporate that. Absolutely.
So, okay, so since I talked about the job, how can you use your personal brand in your job or on your job?
Well, you can use that as a way to really make a name for yourself. When it comes to working on teams and working in a partnership, or really even trying to get in a promotion, trying to advance. If you've established a personal brand for yourself, then you may be that go-to person. They're going to say, I know Colette is someone that's always on time. She's dependable. She's good at leadership. So I want her to be over this project. Or I know I need to bring her to the table when it's time to have this conversation. And so you
Mm-hmm.
can, definitely use it in that regard. And then when it comes to maybe a promotion, because you have a strong personal brand, because you have been consistent, someone may say, when it's time to start this new team, or whenever, it's time to put someone in charge, we want to put Colette in charge because of what she's shown us. So it can definitely help you in your job to become that go-to person, to be that subject matter expert, to have a seat at the table because they value what you bring to the table, and to also
Mm-hmm.
prepare you for leadership positions.
So I was thinking about sometimes when I'm scrolling on
Hmm.
social media and you see the business page and then you see the person, and it doesn't seem to be aligned. In my head, it doesn't seem to align.
Hmm.
Can you give us some advice on that?
Well, it's perfectly okay because that's why it's a business page and that's why it's a personal page. So your
Mhm.
personal page is just that. It's more personal. It might be you on the weekends. It might be you with your family and friends, some of the hobbies that you have and some of the things that you enjoy in your personal time. But then when it comes to your business, ultimately you're in business because you want to make a profit. You're trying to solve a problem for your customers. So then you definitely want to position yourself and you want to show up a particular way. So it's okay for them to be separate. It's okay for them to be, different. And then sometimes, it may intertwine because I think that in my instance, I think it's pretty much the same, just being a person that gives advice personally and professionally. So it's quite okay. It's okay if they're different, and it's okay if they're the same. Just want to make sure that you make that decision for yourself.
So, okay, your personal brand, does it show up? Should your personal brand show up on your in your resume?
Absolutely. Your personal brand should be the same across whatever platform or wherever someone finds you. So if they see you in person and they have a conversation with you, you want to have a brand. They should see and feel that same energy if they're looking at your resume. So if you're
Hmm.
a superstar in person, when they meet you in the interview or a networking event, when they look at your resume, it should be the same. They should get that same feel. If they're looking at your LinkedIn profile, if they're looking at another online portfolio, your business page, they should get that same thing. And then certainly when come in for the interview, and then whenever you show up for the job, it should all be the same across platforms. You don't want to be a particular person, on paper, and then they meet you, and then you're not the same. So definitely want to make sure that they're the same across platforms.
How can someone gain strength in their personal brand? How do they gain strength in their personal brand?
Well, kind of what I just mentioned, being consistent so that no matter where someone finds you, you're always the same. Being mindful how you show up every single day, every single time, so that you become consistent and you're not one way somewhere and then they see you somewhere else and you're somewhere different. And then also just about upskilling, continuing to increase your skills and your knowledge so that you are continually adding to that personal brand and you are getting better and better and making it, stronger. So just being mindful of how you show up, being consistent, and then just making sure that you are continually increasing in your knowledge and your skills.
Um, you've said a lot of positive words regarding personal brand. Is there any downside?
Probably the only downside is whenever you aren't consistent with your personal brand. Definitely if you've made a name for yourself and your reputation precedes you, and then
Okay.
someone actually meets you, and then it's like, okay, wait, what happened? This is not what I was thinking. Or like I said, if someone sees your resume or sees you online, and then they bring you in for an interview, and then you're not the same, they're definitely going to be disappointed. So the only downside is that if it's not consistent. But the beauty of the personal brand is you can change it whenever you want. You can, like you said, strengthen it, or you can change it, make adjustments to it whenever you want. So if you decide that you want it to be a particular way, and then after so many years or something, you want to rebrand yourself, like I've done so many times, it's perfectly okay. That's the beauty of it. You can make your personal brand be whatever you want.
Would you say that you have to, okay, so I hear you, you said it a couple times, like that reinvention thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess when you say that, and I want you to correct me if
Mm-hmm.
I'm wrong, when you say that, I think people, okay, first of all, again, I'm old school. So I think of Madonna, okay, reinventing herself over and over and over again. That's Madonna.
Mm-hmm.
But she sticks with it. And so you have to make sure that what you've decided is that you're consistent. Do you know what I mean? That you can't just all of a sudden wake up and say, "Hey, I'm going to be this." You can't. You have to. There has to be some thought into it. Would you agree?
Well, it depends. Again, this is your own individual thing. So when I specifically talk about myself rebranding, I started off in computer science, and then I went into retail management, and then I went into career services, and now I'm in being a life coach. So I've rebranded myself several times, and I really kind of, took a different turn each time. But at the core, I'm still someone that likes to help people. I'm still someone that's, kind of in a leadership position, still someone that, provides guidance for other people. So you can kind of figure out what that core is, and you can kind
Mm-hmm.
of branch off into what your personal brand is. But like Madonna, at her core, she's still Madonna. She's still an entertainer.
Okay. And that's what I guess yes. And that's what I guess I'm looking for you to you to expand on is that there is a core person
Right.
that that does not change. Your career, hopefully, along the way may change
Mm-hmm.
depending on what career you've chosen. It, but the core, the essence of who you are,
Right.
remains the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard you say, "Hey, this is who I am. I help people. I assist people." And so that core remains the same,
Right.
but my and your value system
Mm-hmm.
remains the same.
Right.
But other things can change.
Yes, and other things probably will change, but like you said,
Yeah.
as long as you stay, that's why is that personal brand is who you are, and you're telling other people who you are, and you're telling them that even though I may change a little bit here and there in terms of what my job title is or what industry I am, you're still getting that same core person, you're still getting those same values. So,
Okay, so I'm gonna shift the conversation just a little bit to not just a general conversation, but just to narrow it to women.
mm-hmm.
I think women have a tough time with their personal brand in the corporate world
Mm-hmm.
because um, they feel like they have to make a shift once they walk through the door. And sometimes it compromises who they actually are. What do you think?
I would agree 100%. I've had this conversation with several people is why do women sometimes have a hard time, identifying with who they are. They have a hard time showing up. They have a hard time asking for the salary that they require or probably deserve. We can go on and on and on, but I think it's just, naturally as who we are as women, we're just kind of used to being givers. We're used to taking care of other people and making sure everybody else is taken care of, that sometimes we neglect ourselves. So that's an unfortunate thing, and I think that that's something that probably deserves a deeper conversation as to why we do that as women.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do want to have a conversation about that because I think that women, and I'm not going to say that I haven't been a person that has been a victim of that.
Mm-hmm.
That that the ask is not, despite who I am, the ask is sometimes difficult. Or today I have to not be myself. I have to be somebody else in order to get what it is that I want or need or for my team. And I'm not going to say I like that. I like that. And there are women out there who don't like it. And it makes it and it's also exhausting because there is a duality about it that is sometimes hard to live up to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And, if you could put that on our list
Okay.
to go back to, and maybe we even bring in somebody to talk to us about it, because I'm not sure what the answer is. For as long as we're reporting to somebody. And a lot of times that's what creates the entrepreneur, because they're tired of you're tired of reporting to somebody, and you want to be who you were meant to be,
Right.
if you will.
Right. And you can't always do that sometimes on a job, right? Because you have to fit within their parameters. And I think that probably is what sparks a lot of people to go into entrepreneurship, because they're like, well, if I'm doing my own thing, then I can really show up the way I want. I can do things the way I want to do them. And you can't always do that, whenever
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, I appreciate this talk that we're having. I think that there's many things that can come out of that. I want the audience to know that Dena is going to be with us. This is the second Wednesday or the first Wednesday? I lose track.
I'll be on here the second Friday.
Oh, I said Wednesday. Oh my gosh. What day is this? Okay. So she will be here every second Friday of the month. And we're streaming on Facebook. Let me just do this, because I'm not being a good engineer here. Here we go. Our website is forwardwlf.org, or you can find us through our hashtag forwardwlf. We stream not only on Facebook, but also on YouTube. We're also on social media, on Instagram, again on Facebook. And you can find both Dena and myself through LinkedIn. If you have any comments, or you would like to join us, please do so. We welcome the comments. We welcome the conversation, because we tout ourselves as being an interactive group. And we also want to meet your needs and meet you where you are. So please, if you are interested in being a part of the Women's Leadership Forum, go to our website and just subscribe. That's all that you need to do. We come out with a newsletter about once a month. And our aim is to come out with that newsletter every first Wednesday. That's where I was getting that Wednesday from. Every first Wednesday of the month. We make it enjoyable, readable. What you're witnessing here, I tout us as a magazine in which you will get a little bit of something each and every time that you choose to tune into us. It's your choice. Every topic might not be for you, but I bet you in the month, you will find something that is super appealing. So we have coaches, we have entrepreneurs, we have teachers, we have all kinds of, we have fitness people. Lord, help me. We have fitness people who will help to get us to where we want to be. And that's the aim of the Women's Leadership Forum. I want to thank Dena Bilbrew for being our guest. And before you go, I want you to tell our viewing audience where they can find you.
Well, yes. Well, thank you for having me on here. It's definitely a pleasure to be on here and to be on this journey with you. I'm on all social media platforms at Dena Bilbrew. If you just Google my name, I'm the only Dena Bilbrew, so that will be me.
And the one and the only.
You hear that? I'm the only one. And my website is DB Professional Concepts, DB as in Dena Bilbrew Professional Concepts.com. And that's where you will be able to find all of my information and all of the different ways that I can help you, whether it's a career coaching session, a life coaching session. I'm helping you to update your resume, your bio, helping you with your personal image, a lot of recommendation letter templates, cover letter templates, just really anything that you would need to get from where you are to where you want to be in terms of your career, in terms of your life. And I'll be happy to help you.
So we thank Dena once again. And I want to tell you what's coming up before we sign off here. Now, on Monday, we're going to have Erica Salee. And guess what? She is the owner of Citizen. Citizen. Now, you all may want me to explain that, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to tune in because you're in for a treat. If you are stressed out and you need some zen in your life, then you want to come on Monday and hear more about the Citizen, right? And Wednesday, again, we turn back to workforce development. And then it'll be Friday again before you know it. And we have more information to impart upon you. With that, I want to just turn your attention to the month of July. Now, some of you said, hey, what happened? You skipped over all the other months. All the other months, you're going to see all the wonderful collective of women that we have for you and their topics every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But on July 10th, it's Founders Day, and we will have a business mastermind class for you. So if you want to know more about that, you're going to have to tune in and stay in touch with us on our website. Okay? You're going to have to tune in and stay in touch with us on the website. Again, the website is forwardwlf.org, or you can find us with the hashtag forwardwlf. Now, you all have been a wonderful audience. I really appreciate you. I want more of you to chit chat with us and ask us questions, because guess what? The questions can't be limited to me, okay? The questions are on your mind. I know it. And I want you to chat with us to ask our guests the questions because they're here for you. So, with that, you have your instructions. It's the weekend. I want you all to enjoy your weekend. Continue to stay masked up, socially distant, and wash your hands. And with that, Dena, we're going to wave everybody off. We thank everybody for being a great guest and appreciate them. And we welcome them back on Monday. All right, everyone. See you later. See, I still don't have that right. See you later. See you next time.